And no kind of cheering.
I was literally playing chess with Chris like 20 minutes before, and I was like, he's like, I'm gonna do this. He's like, do you think I should do it? I'm like, hey, if you've already decided you're gonna do an opening, and me telling you to change it last minute is not gonna help you. Let's go to 1.5 for the chess. Oh.
Or coaching from the stands either.
And it's worth noting one more time exactly how this event can be won, exactly how it functions. So let's pull up that card.
All right, let's.
We have the time. Probably.
That's the
There was a lot. I remember there was a lot of like setup and
You want to
stuff.
experience that again, not just from like a physical trauma kind of perspective, but also from like a
And like, and then look, like Chris's bishop and knight here on the wrong spots.
perspective. Like, it's not a good look to get knocked down in 15 seconds. So we'll see how he bounces back from that, how mentally tough he is, and maybe that black belt in jiu-jitsu comes into play there. I'm sure he's been submitted a lot. I'm sure he's come back from those. Let's see what happens.
And we do have a bird's eye view once again. We'll wait a little bit for our...
Surprised nobody called. Oh, the bird's eye view looks crisp. I'm surprised nobody mentioned this.
And oh, there's the board actually. We have a lot of hesitation on move one from Overflow. Who by the he almost forgot to press the timer.
Yo, he got it right there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, time matters a lot. Now you can get through about 2 rounds of boxing as long as you're making moves. If you
They
don't
did him
move for
dirty
too
with
long,
the
ref will
setup.
literally
Yeah,
count down to 10.
cheap. Should have been spotted.
Because we need to see a show here.
We do have a check, by the way. We have a the board was set up wrong. Then they're flipping the board around the right way.
Yeah, we need to get that right.
That's
I told Chris, I was like, you gotta. I was like, oh yeah, the one thing I told him before he went in, I was like, whatever you do, if the men's does this with his bishop, like, or brings which bishop is it? It's sorry. Yeah, it was this. Yeah. I was like, if he brings his bishop out here, he's gonna try and 4-move checkmate you. So I was like, whatever you do, be wary if he pushes this pawn here. One. Because I was like, he's gonna try and 4-move checkmate you if he's not good at chess. Just think, you know what I mean? I figured if he was a weak chess player, he'd be like, fuck it, why not? So luckily he did the right thing right away, spotted it, stopped it, it's gone, it's dead.
That's a fun one to mess up.
Now the interesting question I have is Overflow taking his time here because he's actually like thinking a little, or he's
Like,
like,
you read my mind,
is he
dude.
trying to get to the box?
This might be a strategy.
So this is great for Chris. Like, Chris is in like an amazing spot already. This is just great.
At the beginning to make sure he maximizes his potential in the boxing ring because he thinks he might have an advantage there.
Well, then the question is Chris able to play quick enough? Is he able to play sharp enough that the 3rd round of chess, if he gets through 2 rounds of boxing, will be a guaranteed win because Overflow will be
Just like a nice, crisp opening for Chris. No worries at all.
He's trying to play a London. His opponent is playing God knows what, frankly. But he's still getting it's the London opening, God knows what variation. But the problem is that the timer's going to expire, and I think Overflow is just going to throw some hands for 90 seconds.
Yeah, and the question is, can Chris
I don't
defend
know what was going through Chris's mind. So Chris has already a great setup here, right?
thinks there's an advantage for the man with the most boxing experience.
But then the chess thing stopped working for us, I think, at this round.
If the boxing ends, you gas yourself out. You don't knock the guy out.
Yeah, it stopped working, so we couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on.
Levy, can you talk a little bit about how important it is to control the center of the board? What does that mean for early chess, and how do you see this board?
Yes, actually, the craziest thing is Black has zero control of the center. I mean, you can argue that pawn as the round ends. So we'll talk about that a little bit later.
All right.
It's a very good start for Chris.
Whether or not he wants to keep pushing.
I'm glad they kept it over the shoulder.
Slow
so much better. And then they moved it.
And by the way, there is a move in this position that's apparently there. It's been, Bishop takes pawn.
I'm surprised Chris went for this.
There.
Like, just went for the kill like this, because now it's so hard to like translate this.
Yeah, King's got to go. By the way, White's bishop.
And I didn't see what happens. I think the thing broke after this, I think.
We can just keep a timer of how long, and White is completely winning here. Completely winning. An experienced player will chop down a few pieces in front of Black's king, get in, and win the game. If White
this is tough. Even
longer, the round will end, and
like, even if you're pretty decent, knowing how to maneuver all the pieces into making a nice opening now is very hard.
That's a really good point there. So Chris has to make moves quickly.
And he just wasn't taking the free rook.
PJ to make moves. That way he can make a bad
move. He's not. Just to point this out, he stalled for about 30 seconds here. You cannot do that in this format. You can if you have like a mate in 3. He doesn't. And
I thought for sure, I'm like, I'm not worried now because I'm like, Chris can survive the next boxing round for sure. He just needs to get through this.
He's not playing to his advantage, right? Like the next, he has a clear advantage in chess. The next boxing round, we'll see if he puts together the strategy of being super defensive and trying to get back to the chessboard, survive, get back to the chessboard, and try to checkmate.
Yeah, and I think the
and also he can get a queen for free, right? Am I crazy? You just go for the check.
Because we only have 30 seconds left in the round.
Right? Do you get a queen?
Black's king
Am I crazy?
about to survive this attack, or? Because I do see moves.
Oh no, you get a rook. Well, you get a rook. Either way, you get something. Sorry, I'm crazy.
Yeah,
rook block. I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
On both the board and the
I'm dumb, chat.
Right
Ignore me.
I have seen Chris touch the clock.
Either way, this is goated. Chris gets free rook, whichever one he wants.
The current state of the game.
Obviously, you go for the other one because it's way more useful than that rook that's trapped there.
Yeah, we're gonna switch it over right now. I think this might be the updated position here.
And we have 5 seconds left in this chess round.
There it is.
There's the bird's eye view. We do see Black's King under severe pressure as the bell rings.
And there's the bell. Back to the
Oh
corners.
yeah. Oh, I
back
thought
to
it was.
the club.
I thought it was this round. Yeah. So, but I mean, like, Chris is killing him in chess. Chris just needs to survive this boxing.
Soundproof headphones on,
Yes,
so
we
they're
have
not able
bird's
to.
eye view. Black.
When it, because obviously, like, we couldn't see it, right? So we're like further away, and then it goes to like this, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened on the board?
All right.
What just happened? Like, we just missed like 2 moves.
Music's on.
Yes,
They,
and
they
we
have the soundproof headphones on,
Yes,
so
we
they're
have
not able
bird's
to.
eye
I'm like,
view.
what?
Black's moving.
What?
White has knight to h.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is this pawn doing here? What happened? I'm like, what? So I'm kind of like, what? What is Chris doing? And then I see this,
Check, and
and I was like, what? And I literally jump out of my seat. I'm like, I shout, what the fuck? I literally shouted, I don't know if you can hear me. I shouted, what the fuck? I stood up.
He's given up his queen? He gave up his queen! He gave up his queen!
Dude,
He
I
had
wish they
made it
showed
two
Chris's
on the board!
face. I was looking directly at Chris's face, and he was like,
Oh, that fatigue, those lead hooks coming into play, giving away the queen.
that was what he did not want to do. The whole time, he was like, I just don't want to blunder my queen. And I was like, oh, damn it, Chris. God damn it.
Giving away
Oh
his
my god,
advantage.
he had made in 2. I was waiting so long to not say anything because they could hear me. Oh my gosh, he lost his
Yeah,
queen.
you can hear everything the commentators are
Yeah,
saying,
he
by the
just
way.
had his queen
Not
take
super
the
clearly,
pieces
but you
that
can
he
hear them.
Yeah, knight check.
Now here we go. Let's see if he can keep his composure and come back from this. It's all about.
You don't have any
making
openings
mistakes,
now, right? You
moving
have
on, not
nothing.
not
But there's
dwelling
no
on
way
it,
you can
not
do
living in the
this.
past.
So
He
like,
has nothing.
just
He has
get rid of this
nothing.
pawn.
His pieces have no way forward now because every square is covered and his rooks are stuck behind pawns. Black is completely winning.
Well, I think the one thing that's on Chris's side is he was able to get into that position to be in mate in 2 through the first
He had a
round.
queen.
I was like,
Lovely.
what is
All right,
this?
well, he could do it again, man. Believe. I mean, yeah, the pawns can promote, but good luck here. I'm so stressed out, but he is bringing the rook. He is bringing the rook, and in 50 seconds worth of time, I'm looking at the timer.
I couldn't believe it.
Overflow has stalled. He has moved his pieces back and forth.
Yep.
All right, he is not trying
You think
to
he
take the
threw on
fight
purpose?
quick.
No, I think he was
Actually ends the
garbage
game,
at chess.
right? But it's
Both of them.
the chess gods have to watch.
It's going to be a lot tougher.
I said
The
afterwards,
fact
like,
of
that is the
matter
best, worst
it
game of
doesn't
chess I've
feel
seen in a
like we're
while.
conclusive ending in
I was
the chess
furious.
round this
Chris was like,
time.
I'm like,
This
yeah, I'm
next
800
set of
rating. I'm like,
30
what?
Left, which means
What do you
30
want?
seconds.
What?
That Overt Flow has one final chance in the boxing to seal the deal.
Yes.
Otherwise, the final
They both
4-minute round
they
of
both
chess,
just started
by time advantage
playing
alone,
checkers or something
is
at this
big
round. I don't know what
in favor
happened.
of White,
That's
although
right.
the pieces might not.
That's right. Black has 90 seconds here, and he is trying to stall.
And Chris is just throwing away everything. I was like, what is
Last
happening?
15 seconds. I trained with Chris Baldwin in the week leading up to this. We got in this low time advantage type of place where even if you're losing on the board, you can.
I don't even know
play
what he's.
that
I don't know
time
what he's
and
asking here.
work
I think he's
towards that
asking if he
win
can
condition
take it or
of the
something.
opponent running out. So let's see if he
I didn't-
remembers that and puts it into play.
It's just like everything is terrible for Chris here. You take the knight. You just gotta push this off. Like it's like GG. Like it's so bad.
Seconds on
Timer's not counting down. So the ref is fixing that now.
So midnight.
There's a lot of problems with the chess stuff, huh?
let's
Okay.
give it up. These two fighters have poured their heart out.
I'm
in the
screaming
ring,
at Chris.
both with
In my
the
head, I'm like,
brains and the
take
brawn.
the
This
fucking
will
pawn.
guarantee a winner.
Do not let
Either
that
by
pawn
timeout,
exist.
stalemate, or
Why are you letting that pawn exist in this realm?
Right, and right in the middle of the board, Overt Flow had an outpost, a pawn.
And then I thought, oh, it's GG now. It's so GG. Literally, the pawn is there, and I'm like, all right, it's gone. It's done. And then I'm like, wait, why isn't he promoting?
Oh, he took the rook. Oh no, that is a massive,
doesn't-
massive
he doesn't know.
mistake by White. And
Apparently he didn't know. I don't know if that's true. Someone said he didn't know that it would promote if you push the pawn. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true,
by the
Why?
way,
Wait,
can I-
why?
Oh, he lost the
left
rook.
the
And
rook hanging.
hello.
but he threw.
You know what happens when the pawn gets to the other side of the board? Oh my goodness, Black is completely winning, but he has no time to prove it.
And he doesn't defend.
Also, dude, it's
the
overwhelming.
pawn
It's so
advancing
overwhelming when you're
to get a
there.
queen right now. And
Yes, he can.
doesn't.
But he doesn't. He doesn't. And he hasn't pressed the clock. He hasn't pressed the clock. Guys, he hasn't pressed the clock.
Oh shit, he's not pressing the clock. I didn't even notice
He should
that.
just sit there and think,
Oh, now he
there
did it.
is.
Chris just
He
helped
did it,
him
he did it.
out.
50 seconds on Overt Flow's
Yes,
clock right
and
now.
what's the match time?
Just,
Like, what's
just,
the match clock?
just
situation?
like, what
don't
the
even
fuck
know.
is
He's
happening?
He's moving his other pawn.
Yes, he doesn't.
Like,
He forgot that his pawn is on the board and they can queen.
They both did. What is going on?
Oh my
Jumping
God,
the
it's right
pieces.
there.
I just couldn't believe this, dude.
It's right
I
there.
was
You get a
like,
queen, dude.
Oh my
my
God.
fucking
Total
heart was at the
minutes
bottom of
left
my
on the
stomach.
match
Like,
clock.
what is
There will be a
happening?
winner guaranteed.
What
45
is this
seconds
shit?
over.
Wow,
Yeah.
every move is is
And
not
like
the
Chris
pawn
keeps
that
making the
the queen.
worst
Yeah, he
moves
doesn't
as
see it.
well.
He simply doesn't
Like, what
see it.
is-
Oh my
what
God,
is
so we
this
have another
shit?
queen on the board right now.
What am I looking at,
Chris moves his
Chris?
king up so there can be no attacks in the back rank, which might even stop Overflow from noticing what he has.
And by the way, do you see there's 2 queens on the side of the board? That is literally for this situation.
Yeah.
So if you have 1 queen on the board, you can get a second one.
I wonder if Chris is just like poker facing this, like knows it's there, but knows he hasn't watched it. He's just letting it be.
90 seconds remaining overall, and how much time for Black? About 30 seconds, if I'm seeing that correctly.
Like, what the
35 seconds left for
fuck?
Black.
So
35.
Black has to win by checkmate, or
What,
it's
like, what is
Black has to
this?
win by checkmate, or this
What is that move? What is all of these moves? They're so bad.
Check.
He's not
And
pressing the clock.
Gets the queen back.
He didn't press the clock. Overt Flow with so many technical errors. 24 seconds
24
remaining.
It's
White has
just-
to move. White just has to go.
Chris's backward capture was godlike. It's like Chris's brain turned on momentarily at some points in this chess game, and then just completely stalled at others. I was
1 minute
screaming
remaining
at
on the
this
match
part.
board.
I was like,
And 20 seconds remaining for Black, but now less than a minute for White as well.
Someone will be crowned a winner, whether it's in 21 seconds or a minute. We have not yet seen.
and at this
both
point, I was
looks
like,
are
okay,
deep into
Overtfo
territory for Overt
clearly
Flow.
isn't good
Chris
enough at
has to
chess
move. Chris
to
has to make
end
a
this in
move.
20
Oh my
seconds.
God.
Like
Oh,
A check comes into play.
like even if he
Oh,
could
no.
have, which he very much easily could
There's
have,
a chance.
I
White
just
loses
I
on
was pretty
time.
sure at this point there was no
This is
way he
one
knew how to do it,
scenario
and I was
we
like,
haven't
Chris,
even
just
considered.
play, just play.
White might lose the game on time. It's going to be so close. 30
Yeah, when he
seconds
was doing
remaining.
moves like that as well, I was like, it's done.
As long
This
as
is
he
so
keeps
done.
making moves, Chris
Chris
goes
did a
to
really
defend
good
the
defensive
pawn.
move there
He's
as well.
gonna-
I was like,
he
oh,
doesn't
we got
need the
this.
rooks into a file.
And then he did that
12
move,
seconds
and he
for
still has
Overt Flow.
nothing.
Oh my gosh.
He can't do
Takes by
anything.
the pawn. King takes
10 seconds
10
to go for
seconds
Black.
remaining for Black.
And a check by White.
Oh, and he doesn't see it.
Oh, no,
That's an illegal
no.
move.
That's an error.
Illegal
That's
move.
an error. It's a check. Judge comes in.
It's almost smart from
Illegal move,
Overflow in a weird
Overflow
way that
moves
like
his
you
rook
get
and
so
loses
much more
check.
extra
Overflow's
time to
gonna
think
have to
about the
stop
move
that.
now.
Oh my God.
We're taking it back.
So
Only
stressed
8
out.
seconds left for Black.
Like, because you
shit,
fucked
there's
up, you get like
6
20
seconds.
seconds because they have to
We're
reset everything because of the fuck up.
Right back to before the illegal move.
So many pieces on Black.
Here we go. 6 to go.
5.
Yeah, and then I was like,
Yes,
no
make a
way,
move.
no way, man.
Wait, no, not yet. Blocks. 4
my
seconds.
God. Check by Black Rook.
A discovered check, but he
What?
doesn't recognize
No,
it.
no.
Mistake from Overt Flow.
And I was like, no fucking way, he
And
did
then time
it.
has run
And
out.
that's time.
They've called it.
Chris
Wait for it.
Broad by time. Black gets it.
Oh my god, dude.
Let's hear it. For
You see Chris shaking his head 'cause he's like, God damn, that fucking chess was trash,
He
dude.
had it